Hello guys, my name is Su. From 2017 August, I've been writing 2,000 words every single day. And this is what happened. So where should I start? I guess I'll start with how did I start? So in 2017 in August, I went to Portugal for some traveling. And Portugal is a beautiful country, beautiful coast, beautiful scene, beautiful everything. Beautiful sun. I got sunburned really bad. So as I was traveling, one day, I still remember one day I was on the bus from Porto to Lisbon, or Lisboa. And on the bus, I was reading on my Kindle. I was reading a Chinese writer. I read about him like a long time ago, and every time I read his works, they always make me feel so touched and passionate. And to some extent, he's very much like Henry Miller of China. Probably not as great as Henry Miller, but their spirit is very, very similar, and both of which I just very much enjoy reading. So I was on the bus from Porto to Lisbon. So I was holding the Kindle in my hand, reading, and at that moment, as the AC, the cold air from AC started to fall on my skin, and the old leather from the seats, and the sun that pierced through the window and landed on my feet. I was sitting on the first row, and that slight lingering sense of cigarette. So at that moment, I just feel something clicked inside of me, in my heart, not my mind. And at that moment, I just felt like, I still remember telling myself that, damn, I need to be a writer. I need to write. I just need to be a writer. It has to be done. And I didn't care right away. That was like the second day of the week-long trip. So, but that idea, that click, that shock in my chest just stayed. And after I came back to Prague, I just feel like I have no more excuse. I have to do it. And I still remember when I told my girlfriend that I'm gonna do it. I don't know if she believed me that I will carry it out, or if I'll keep it writing for such a long time. Do you believe me?
I do.
Yeah, so ever since I came back, I started to write 2,000 words every day, no matter what happened during the day. Back then I was still doing my MA program at university. I still remember in the morning I would write my MA thesis and I do my study, and in the afternoon I would go to work, maybe do some sports, depends on the days, and when I come back in the evening I will do my 2,000 words, no matter how tired I am, no matter how shit I feel. And yeah, so far I would say this has been the best thing I have ever done to myself, and for myself, and with myself. So yeah, I will show you guys the word count and everything to show you guys I really have done it. So yeah, so the first file I have, I started Friday 11th August 2017 at 14 hours and 27 minutes. And last modified, 11th of December 2018. So the second file here I created 13th of December 2018 at 19 hours and 56 minutes. And last modified, August 19th, 2019. And the most recent file I have here, created Monday, 19th of August 2019 at 13:33, and last modified Friday, May 8th, 2020. I still remember the first day I wrote. I felt so very emotional, and I wrote about some literature work I was working on, and it just felt great. And there's I wouldn't say there's an unbearable sense of pleasure in it, but certainly there's a great sense of accomplishment when I done it. But certainly I didn't feel that passionate every day. That's impossible, I would say. And the majority of time, or gradually, it has become more of a self-analysis than some real literature, passionate, emotional work. I still remember back then when I told my flatmate that I'm doing this, and he used a word that is very interesting, which is verbal diarrhea. So sometimes you say, oh, how's your verbal diarrhea going? But when I think of it now, I think that word makes sense because I mean, certainly there are times when I feel like I don't want to do it, I just want to chill, and those days I just write shit, I just write whatever. I just need to feel that 2,000 words limit every single day for myself. But still, when I think of it now, no matter the quantity of the work, I am very happy for myself that I've done it and I have fulfilled my own words. And of course, when I'm sick, when I'm having a fever, when I cannot just even go to work or even just get out of bed, I will not do it, right? But rest of the day, I did it all the time. So I didn't write, certainly not every single day. I stopped, I think 3 days. The first day was when I finished my master's thesis, and I was just like, I cannot do it anymore. And I took a break that day. And the second day I took a break was when I reached 1 million, or that day, or the second day. And I just remember I went to Patagonia and got myself a nice coat just to reward myself. And the third time I took a 1 day break was when I finished another 500,000, which is when I finished the second file. So what do I get out of this? I mean, still right now I would say this is a little too early for me. As you can see, it was just a little week ago I stopped. So it's still very, very fresh, and I haven't completely ruminated or chewed it enough to see and feel everything I got from this. But from what I can see now, there are many, many positive changes, certainly. So the first thing is how I see myself. Back then, before I started to do this, or even before this year, I would say I hated myself and I despised myself. There are mistakes and the different experiences that integrate into my mind, and I hated myself to do those things and make those choices. But for now, I certainly start to believe myself and like myself much more. When I think of it now, when I say I want to do this and I plan to do this, I believe that I will carry it out. I believe I will do it if it's something emotional, something important for me. I wouldn't let myself down as I did back then. And the second thing I feel is that I certainly believe in my own ability much more. Not only on like I say something, I'm gonna do it, but also I know I can bear some hard works, and I know I can overcome a lot of difficulties. And I know I can work hard than most of other people. So that also gives me a good sense of confidence and competence about myself. And the third thing is, and the third rather emotional point is that I believe I can change myself, and I also believe that anyone can change themselves if they want it bad enough. But from this experience, I certainly know, and I prove it to myself, that I can do something difficult, hard, and good for myself. Also, as some of you might know, I'm a psychologist, and I'm a PhD student in psychology, and I also provide counseling works. And so this whole self-analysis thing has provided me such valuable insight in understanding myself and understanding other people. It has provided me such a valuable asset and arsenal for my professional works as well. Essentially, PhD work is about writing. So from this experience, I also learned how to organize my mind through languages, and just the ability to sit there or stand there and write, produce, force yourself to do it. So I think this experience also translated or transplanted a lot of positive attribution for me as a psychologist as well, that's for sure. So essentially, I think no matter it's psychotherapy or counseling, how or what we can help with other people is essentially a reflection of how you can help yourself. It is like sometimes people see in the gyms there are trainers that look like a stick, and they try to help you to build a muscle. It just doesn't work. And I believe when you see, for example, your trainer to be very strong and muscular, you're gonna believe, because they have done it for themselves. And also in this whole experiences, I felt many different things that I refused and that I denied and I repressed. Different feelings, different experiences, different memories, and different activities that happened to me. And to feel those things is therapeutic itself. To not to deny them, to not to keep repressing them is essentially what therapists are doing. So this whole writing experience has provided me valuable time and tool to see myself. So essentially, I feel like I was doing therapy for myself. I reviewed many just unacceptable thoughts, impulses. I was essentially, you can understand it as I'm free associating in a way. And gradually I can feel my defenses loosen up. I don't need to guard those negative emotions as hard as I did. And I can accept negativities and pains and irresponsibilities and all those negative things much better. Yeah, so I think that's all I can think of now. And certainly if something comes up as time goes by, I will make another video and share with you guys how I feel about this, and maybe about many other things as well. But for now, I think this is all I got. So last thing I'd like to say is that I think everyone is capable of changing themselves, and everyone wants to change themselves. I think there's this innate desire to make ourselves better, and I believe no matter what shitty situation you're in or how bad you feel about yourself, you can always do it. And it doesn't matter what you do, to be honest, I think. As long as you're real to yourself, the form doesn't matter. It could be music, it could be writing, it could be sport, it could be carpenting, I don't know, whatever form it is, just do it. Whatever you feel like you want to do, just do it and just keep doing it. And certainly you will not get immediate feedbacks right away, but after a while, after 6 months, after 1 year, you're gonna feel some significant change. And yeah, this is all I got now. And be strong, guys. You can all do it.